Hey, what's up, guys? Got another new video for you. This is Tuned In Sports. My name is Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
Steve.
I'm done.
And today we've got the weekly NHL update video. I know last week we didn't post a weekly update video for the NHL, and it's not because we didn't record one. I just simply forgot to post it. So I got on here today and I looked and I was like, oh, that probably should have gone up. But I'm not going to post something that's over a week old. So instead, we're just going to go ahead and do this video to make up for it, I guess. And since, we're making up for it, we got the whole DENT SPORTS crew involved so they can get excited about the biz that they're experiencing. Just the same as we can get excited about the losing that's going on our end. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop into this video, and I say we go ahead and start with the Red Wings today, since we wanted to, kick it off with a bang. They've been getting banged pretty hard here lately, I think.
Yeah, definitely not been a good week thus far. Starting off on Sunday with a 7-2 loss, and then we lose another one, 4-1 today. Not good. That's all I can say. But this is kind of what is expected at this point, I guess. We're definitely one of the, in the top 5 worst teams in the league. So, I don't know how much better it's going to get this year. So, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, we're getting our asses kicked on a nightly basis. The goals against are just kicking our butts. We're not spending enough time in the other team's zone, and you can only stop so many pucks as the goalie. So I know Bernier's not having the greatest of seasons, but it's a little difficult to be too harsh on the guy when he's getting puck shot on him all night long. So I'm sure the guy is one sore mother buff at the end of the night with all the pucks being shot at him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, things are not good in Red Wing land right now, but I'm hopeful that it'll turn it around in a couple of years. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Like you say, it's kind of like, the Thunder thing where it's not necessarily a surprise, but you got some people in place that hopefully can get it turned around in the next coming years. But until that happens, it's just kind of like a, floating towards the bottom zone, and you just hope to compete and not get blown out 7-2, twice in the same week. So, unfortunately, this was one of the not so good weeks for the Red Wings, but, you've had quite a few of those here lately, so it's probably nothing new. So, I don't know if that's comforting.
It's becoming all too familiar.
Yeah.
They're falling in line with the rest of the teams.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
I guess the best way to say it would be, tough game for the Red Wings.
Uniforms look good. I like those white ones with the gray with them the other night. Those were actually pretty nice. So.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm sure Bennett was going to touch on that.
You know what? I actually wanted to start out by saying tough week for the Red Wings.
Yeah.
This seems to be a pretty common occurrence in Detroit for all teams in Detroit. So, I fully expect, though, that this some of the new people that are running it will, get it turned around. I think that they truly are trying to get that team headed in the right direction. It's just going to take a couple years. So, it's looking rough right now, but going forward, I see some bright things coming.
I hope. God knows I've seen enough losing.
Yeah, again, it just falls into that same categories of rebuilds, and rebuilds. So hopefully the rebuild will catch, and then everything will be okay. But until that time, you're just kind of spinning wheels and just going, this is fun. can't wait till the next season starts because this season's already over. You know what I mean? It's just that. It's that typical thing, where it's just like, hey, all right, baseball season start. Okay, when's football coming? Seen enough of this already.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing that's made it less painful is that when you're used to seeing losing, it's not shocking.
No.
It's like, okay, I know how to feel like shit. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I know how to feel bad about it. So
Yeah.
The football team in your city has you more than well equipped to handle what's going on with the Red Wings.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's the silver lining.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't think, like we said, I don't think this season is really the one to tell what's going on with them because I think, with Yzerman or whatever his name is coming in there, I think the ship will be heading in the right direction. It's just going to take time, but not everybody wants to wait. So, but I think he'll have a lot. We always talk about on this channel where you don't have time to, dilly dally around. You need to start seeing results, otherwise you're gone. But I think he'll have a little bit longer leash than, some other folks might. And especially considering what he did in Tampa and stuff, I have no doubt that if he...
Plus, he's not the coach. So, he can always scapegoat that. Oh, this coach isn't coaching this shit right.
Yeah, well, and also nice for them. They already have the arena done and everything's already finished. So,
yeah,
they don't have to worry about trying to appease fans and taxpayers.
No.
Everybody's already paid for it. So now it's just, whenever we get it done, we'll get it done.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree.
Well, they got the full support of Grandpa Campanga, so boom. There you go. He can't wait to spend some more money towards it.
They're a proud franchise. I don't expect them to be down for too long. I think they'll get it back. And for whatever, I don't know, maybe hockey might be different than other sports. I don't think Detroit's actually in one of those, cities where people wouldn't want to come to play there because, of their history and everything. I think they've always been able to attract good players if they're trying to. So, I'm hoping that's the case still. Things change virtually overnight, really. But, if they can attract some good players, I could see them, getting back to at least some decent hockey before too long.
And not get gutted by the Kraken. That's the other thing, too. Because
we don't have any players, so they go ahead and take what you want, man.
Well, with everything else, I think, especially in hockey, it's definitely through the draft. So he's going to have to hit on a few players. Mm-hmm. And then once you're able to get one or two bona fide players, then that usually starts things rolling.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do that. So, again, it's just trying to get the pieces that work for you. And you're able to get them into the draft and then the timing of those players to make a run to whatever they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
That pretty much seems like to be the tried and true method of teams in their reestablish themselves as a top team in the league. So
yeah, for sure. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next team now. We're going to talk a little bit about the LA Kings, who, because of the fact that we're just doing a weekly basis, drastic turn of events from the last week where they weren't losing games. This week they couldn't win one.
Yeah.
So.
They starting off. They started off the week with 2 games against the Blues, won both of them.
Yeah.
And then managed to lose 3 straight. So,
But I'm talking Thursday to Thursday, though.
Thursday to Thursday?
They
haven't won since.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Basically, and you know what sucks is, the freaking second Wild game. We lost on a last-second goal. Dude, I cannot tell you how pissed I was once I watching that. Oh my goodness, man. Just to lose that way, it's like, come on. And then we freaking were in a game with the Coyotes, and couldn't hang on. I'm pretty sure that we had the lead at one point. So it just Actually, I think they scored the first goal, but we pretty much, went back and forth. And unfortunately, just going down the stretch, we're struggling on defense. So, and, unfortunately, both sides of the ball both sides of
the ice.
Both sides of the ice, yeah. Couldn't get anything going. So, we ended up losing that by a goal. But we got 2 games coming up against the Blues, which are big games for us because we need to get back on track. But I don't know if the Blues are going to be the team that we're going to do it against. We beat them twice earlier in the season, but I don't see us sweeping them by any means. So it's going to be tough stretch of games here. After that, we got the Ducks, who are generally pretty good. So, yeah. Then we play the Avalanche. So, tough stretch of games coming up. I think we'll be lucky to get even 2 or 3 wins out of that.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think me and Steve kind of talked about this in last week's video that didn't get posted, but I think that the Kings are kind of ahead of schedule in terms of. I've been hearing pretty much during the off season, and each time that I watch the Kings, I keep on hearing about how the coach and the people like that seem to have this team going in the right direction, and they're going to be kind of back to prominence here before too long. But I was kind of expecting it to take a little bit longer. But, this year they've been playing some great hockey for a good portion of the year. So, I kind of think that they're a little bit ahead of schedule from where I thought they would be. So it doesn't necessarily surprise me to see them, lose a stretch of games or so, because I don't think that they're as good as, the team that's been won 9 straight or whatever it was. I think that's like what their ceiling is to be a team that, wins 9 games and it's just another day for them. But I think they're not quite there yet, so it doesn't exactly surprise me that that's the case. But one thing that I will say is that I think, there's not much to worry about, and if I was a fan, I'd be pretty happy with how the team's playing overall. So.
Yeah.
Anything
else? I think with the Kings, it's just feast or famine with them.
Mm-hmm.
Again, usually, as always, it's going to be quick and how he plays. If he's having good days, then they'll be fine. If he has a bad day, then they're not going to do so good. And also, could be getting rid of those Laker jerseys. That could be the other thing.
I agree.
I'll take the Raider jerseys over the Laker jerseys.
Yeah, for real.
That's there, but no, it just depends. Again, it's one of those teams, just like most teams that they used up all they had to get the 2 cups. And then now we're just seeing what the after effect is and trying to keep that momentum up.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually it's going to peter out, and then you got to rebuild.
Yeah.
So I think they're at the point where that's where they're at. So they'll have to make some changes to right the ship, but we'll see what those are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I agree with you.
Yeah, I've definitely heard them in trade talks, though, as of recent. It's gonna. Even I heard some stuff mentioned about us trading Quick away. So, whether they'll do that or not, I don't know. But the guy that's been playing besides Quick, really hasn't played all that bad. So, if they decide they want to trade Quick, then, and we just move that guy up to the, main goalie. Then, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know if it's necessarily a bad move, especially if Quick's still playing some great hockey and we're trying to rebuild. I think we could get a lot in return. So,
it's just the problem that hopefully you don't see the Quick and then you don't see the Kopitar. You don't see, if you start seeing those names start getting traded away, then that means that's a total
rebuild
at that point. So,
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. It can be a dangerous slope when you start going down that road, and it can be a slope that takes a while to recover from, i.e. the Red Wings. But I mean, we'll see what ends up happening. But like I said, I think they're trending in the right direction. I wouldn't be in a hurry to trade him. But, I mean, at the same time, if they get an offer that's, you can't refuse, then I could see them potentially doing that. But, I mean, really just depends on the deal, I guess. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully.
That's kind of what I.
But I feel like they're going in the right direction with him as well. So I mean, I feel like they're already kind of ahead of schedule. So a couple pieces here and there without trading him, and they could really be something good. I mean, that guy that they really like, that's a great strength having him as a backup.
Well, I was gonna say. I mean, the big thing is that he's not getting tired. He's gonna be good come playoff time. He's not going to be all worn out, if he's not playing much now. So, I mean, he's already proven his worth in playoffs previously. So, I mean, I wouldn't be too concerned. I mean, if you hang on to him for a little while, fine. If you get something out of it, I mean, it's not a bad idea to trade him while you still can get something for him. I agree with that because, I mean, and especially if you're not planning on winning a championship in the near future, maybe he can help, bring in some pieces that might help you do it.
Yeah, that's
because if the other guy's playing solid hockey, or solid goalie, then that's okay.
Yeah. But we'll see what ends up happening, and I mean, this week they definitely need to rebound a little bit, and I think they have an opportunity to do so. But we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go ahead and move on. I suppose next we'll go ahead and talk about the Avs. What be happening with them besides injuries?
Yeah, I had a big scare last night, actually.
McKinnon, huh?
Yeah, I had a guy from, I think it was his fourth game for the Sharks, decides to come in and takes one of the NHL's centerpieces and tries to give him a concussion. So I'm surprised the guy even made it back to the bench because I thought they were just going to pretty much beat the living crap out of him right there.
Yeah.
They got pretty much a 5-minute major, and then he'll probably have a nice fine coming. I feel kind of bad for the rookie, but again, you can't go for somebody's head. You got to go for the shoulder or just skate around him, right? But it is what it is. But again, that's just a typical life of Denver sports. It's just hold on and wait to see somebody get injured. So it's just horrible. So hopefully he'll be all right. They said he looked pretty good after the game. It was near the end of the game anyway, so that was kind of a nice, blessing in a way that it gave him a full, night of not having to worry about it. And then the game was already in hand at that point, or I was sealed right at that point pretty much because they scored one of the goals off the power play there, off of that major. So, but yeah, don't riding the ship up and down, have good games, have bad games, but again, just like everybody else, when you are missing pieces, it's kind of hard to get consistency. But we're going to have a big homestand here in the month of March, so I think there's like 17 games at home. So this will be time for them to make a move if they're going to make a move. Hopefully they can get healthy and just fortify, what's already started there. So hopefully they'll can get back up and contain themselves with the Blues and the Knights.
Yeah, it says here that he was suspended for 2 games without pay. The guy that did that.
Okay.
So that
Which isn't much because he's a rookie, so he's probably not getting paid that much.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty much dropping the bucket pretty much.
Well, for him it's a lot, but the grand scheme of things, he's like, oh, that's I should. But again, that would make him think like, okay, you gotta just like everybody else in all sports, right? They gotta make sure they watch out for the superstars. So because that's what brings people in.
Yeah, exactly. You can't have that.
You can't be having a goon squad take out, the league's, faces of the league, even though they do a horrible job of promoting their stars.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though unless you watch it like all the time, you don't know who the stars are.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Still, those who know.
Besides Dallas Stars. Yeah.
Yeah, besides Dallas.
Yeah.
And even them,
Yeah,
sometimes
who are
with all the
those?
COVID,
Yeah, exactly.
with all the COVID, you don't even see them either.
Yeah,
So
exactly. They've been out. So, like I said, this will be a big month. It is pretty much for all the teams right now, but I think this month is going to be huge to see kind of where they can go with it. But again, just got to get healthy.
yeah,
Yep, that's true.
see who's on the injured reserve. Yeah. So yeah, I guess with that being said, let's move on to the Bruins. Usually with the Bruins, it's pretty much the dime a dozen kind of thing where, a couple wins here, a couple wins there, a couple losses here, a couple losses there. But all in all, it's pretty much an even keel week, or they do better than average. This week was pretty much no different. I definitely watched pretty much all of the game that we had had last night, and boy, was that a contest. I think at one point after the first intermission, the shots on goal was like 12-1 that we were losing, and then by the end of the game, it was something like 27-10 that we were still losing. And I mean, it's weird that that's the case. And we were against Capitals. I think I left that out. But anyway, the crazy part about it is that even with that outrageous stat, we still took them to overtime. And then we made it through the overtime without giving up any points. And ended up losing the game in a shootout to the Capitals. And then, of course, it's fitting, right? Zdeno Chara, which, longtime Bruin. They were in Boston, and this was the first time we played Washington, so they did this big fan-made video thing where they had all these different fans, recounting their favorite memories, and they had all these highlights and stuff like that. So wouldn't you know that he would be the one that ends up scoring,
Sending you home with a loss.
Yeah, sending us home with a loss in the shootout period. I mean, you couldn't have written a better story, I guess. But, it was cool to see him out there, even if he was on the other team.
You would have thought Tuukka Rask would have known what he was going to do. How often has he practiced against the guy?
Yeah, should know his move.
Yeah.
He would know his moves. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he scored the winning one, but he scored a goal in overtime, or in the shootout. But then we scored a goal in the shootout, and then they scored a second goal, and we couldn't score again. So, but I know that he was pretty much one of the reasons that we lost. And I mean, it was just, it was fitting, I guess you could say. But I was actually pretty impressed with the performance because, like I said, shots on goal, where the puck was for the majority of the night, were, I mean, legitimately, I mean, you pretty much, if you blinked, you missed the times when the puck was down on the Capitals' end. Because the rest of the time, it was hanging out by Tuukka Rask. And the fact that we only gave up one goal in all that, and then, again, lost in the shootout, but we only gave up one goal that whole time is absolutely incredible with how we got outplayed pretty much the whole game. And the fact that we even made it to overtime and didn't get blown out 7-0 or something stupid is a testament to what value Tuukka has to this team. And, I was listening on the radio a couple days ago. Actually, it was during the intermission to this game, and they were talking about, what the Bruins need to do as the trade deadline approaches and stuff like that. And they were talking about both Halak, which is our backup goalie, and Tuukka's contracts are coming to an end after this season, I believe, if not next season. I believe it was this one, though. And, there was interest mutually on both sides for both of those guys to potentially return. But, whatever ends up happening with that is definitely going to affect what ends up happening with us moving forward. And if we end up losing them after this season, that's going to be a difficult thing, especially where Tuukka's concerned, because, I mean, especially on a night like this when we get outscored 27-10 or something ridiculous. Well, there you go. That tells you everything you need to know.
The fact that the game was 2-1 when you had 27 shots laid on you.
Yeah.
Is 1-1 really, because there wasn't a shot during the game.
Yeah, overtime.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That tells you what a great goalie he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
again, it's that usual quarterback of the hockey, right? Is what the goalies are. So,
yep.
And you don't know what you got until it's gone, for sure. Instead of having the horse carousel, you can have the igloo, going around with the penguins on it or something like that. When you're gonna get goalies, you're just gonna hash through, right? So
yeah,
like I said, exactly. Just be careful what you wish for when you get rid of your goalie. So.
Yep, exactly. And I mean, it's nice to hear that they both have, interest in re-signing and stuff. And there was even talk that they might bring back both, which, I really like Halak as well. I mean, he's not to the level of Tuukka, but for one, I mean, you can't tell me he's not learning something being under him, because this isn't the first year that's been the case. And for two, to have a reliable guy that can step up and at least fill the shoes. I mean, he's not perfect, but he played all the Stanley Cup last year because Tuukka didn't play due to COVID. Yeah. He didn't feel comfortable playing.
I was gonna say, he did fine in the bubble.
Yeah.
He did fine in the bubble. So.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I'm not saying that, Tuukka wasn't missed, but he more than held his own weight. So I definitely think at the very least we need to hopefully bring back one. And if we were to bring back both, I would not be upset with that either. So we'll see what happens. But, that's kind of the big thing for this week is what's gonna happen with that?
Yeah, definitely one or both would be the best scenario. How all the teams operate this year is they're probably going to bring the cheapest one back, for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens on that, and then it goes from there.
Mm-hmm. But overall, another regular week, pretty much, and really, what it comes down to for pretty much all of us, I mean, is what's it going to look like come playoff time? For the Avs, who's going to be available, who's going to be able to play, and who's going to be out with an injury, and then how do they play?
Just be healthy. It would be amazing if I could just have a full roster for the playoffs. It would be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it hasn't happened in the last 2 years. I mean, we're always playing with our third goalie.
Yeah.
Sometimes fourth.
Yep.
And it's like, okay.
Yep.
This isn't right. So
yeah.
Like I said, all I'm asking for is just come full strength for playoffs. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Well, and the crazy thing is, I mean, with that thing that happened last night or whatever with McKinnon, I mean, that was in the third period, and they were down 4-0. Yeah. So it wasn't even like the game was in question, and that happened. It's like, God damn, that sucks. Yeah. That's really bad. That could have easily been avoided. I mean, they were losing by 4, so. Yeah. But that's what it is, I guess. Yeah, that's hockey for you. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the like button. If you don't, well, sorry.
We'll try better.
Yeah. If you don't, it's going to be the exact same video next week, so probably, skip it. But anyway, we appreciate you. Yeah. We appreciate you checking it out. Make sure you check out our other hockey content as well as football, baseball, basketball, NASCAR, boxing, MMA, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we got everything.
If you can bet it, we got it.
Yeah, exactly. If you can imagine it, then it's probably in a video somewhere here. And make sure you go over to Denver and Detroit Sports, DENT SPORTS as well, where you can hear more breakdowns about, the Denver and Detroit sports teams. And
watch us break down.
Exactly. Exactly. You can be involved in a truly emotional experience over on that channel.
Yeah.
So
The Bachelorette has nothing on us.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If you're into passion and love, you'll really have yourself a time on that channel. So make sure you go check them out. And with that being said, guys, Bryson,
Bennett,
Steve,
I'm Don.
And we'll see you guys in the next video.